Good morning. This is Javi. This is Bessie and Sugar. We are all members of the goat co-op here at Dancing Rabbit Ecovillage. And today I'm going to show you my typical morning, milking the cows and moving goats around. I hope you enjoy it.
That one on the other side is even shorter or something.
I think I got, because I was gripping it with my full hand. Now I'm just doing like a few fingers. Because I was like spraying it on my hand.
Yeah, that's...
Hi, Sugar. Early in the spring, when the grass starts to grow, we bring the goats from the barn all the way to the field. So we bring them early in the morning, and then we bring them back to the barn late in the evening. We only do that for like a week or so, and then once the grass grows well, then we start moving the goats around. Hold on, this is Alice. Hi. So we move them all over the place, so they stay out basically for the whole season. Every single day we move them to new pasture. So they start coming out close to the barn, and they go on a loop all the way around until basically November. They are brought back into the barn. So by then the barn will be clean. They will have new hay to eat, and we will also milk them out here in the field once they give us some milk in the next few weeks. Alice, come on! Alice! Come on! Come on, Alice!
Alright, so here we have the finished product of all of our labors with cows. So this is a cheddar that has been, it's made from beautiful spring milk, so it has that nice yellowish hue to it, and it's been air dried for 4 days to get to the stage where the surface is dry and now it's ready for waxing. Something that happens occasionally is that there will be a spot where the paste did not close perfectly. So I have a little bit of lard here, and I'm just going to take just a little bit and put it on there, and what that does is allow the wax to not get stuck in all those little crevices. Usually you get a pretty close paste, but once in a while I have some holes like this, and so this is a pretty standard method for waxing cheddars anyway, if you do a bandaged cheddar, which is a traditional way of aging. And what the whole point of waxing is to make sure that the cheese doesn't lose too much moisture while it's aging. Okay, so now I've filled in those pits a little bit, and we're ready for the first dip into the wax. The wax has been heated to liquid form. It's beeswax with some oil added to make it pliable so that it will not be brittle and crack in refrigeration. And this is a careful thing where you just dip the whole thing in, and I'm going to do both sides of the cheese 3 different times at least, and between dips I allow it to dry a little bit, and then along the way on the next to last dip I'll put my label on to the fresh wax while it's still liquid, and then the last dunking will seal the label onto the cheese, and then it's ready for aging. And we love to age our cheeses at least a few months, but often 6 months or more. So this first dunk is already cool to the touch, and so it's ready for the other side to get dunked, and this is where you got to be very careful it doesn't slip out of your hands. And there it goes. And sometimes, since we're reusing the wax, there'll be there's irregularities in what's in there, but in any case the wax is this lovely sealing thing, and it has the aroma of beeswax that goes with the process, so that it's very pleasant to get into.
This is the barn, and I believe this barn was finished 2019. We had a workshop, timber frame construction, and we brought a few students. They help us out framing and building this barn. So this was a huge help because we knew we were going to have a cow, and it has been great to have it finished so we could have both Sugar and Bessie inside for the winter. Yeah, we'll be cleaning this in the next few days, and our goal for the goat co-op is to make this and turn this into compost so we can use this in our vegetable gardens. We'll be using compost tea to speed up the process, and I'm going to give you a quick tour of the barn. This is where Sugar spend her nights. This is all for the goats, and they will run around up here. Yeah, I'll take you upstairs. We kept hay up here to feed the goats and the cows for the winter while we waited for the grass to grow outside. This was full of hay all the way to almost to the roof. And we used our last bale like a couple of days ago. So yeah, it was good timing with this weather. And this is a beautiful spot to spend to see the sunset. It is time for me to talk about a little bit Dancing Rabbit, different buildings, co-ops. So here are some of the buildings that you can see at DR. These are the latest additions. This was finished last summer. That was finished last winter. And we have another house that supposedly is going to be finished this year. So all these 3 houses are built almost the same way. At least these 2, they have a cement foundation with some insulation underneath. Then the outside for the siding is cement with wood particles, So the colors already came with, pigment. You have to choose the color, so you don't have to paint the house again. It's almost maintenance free. Insulation, I believe, for both is synthetic wool, so it's not fiberglass. And then synthetic wool, in my opinion, performs better than fiberglass. Then the insulation for the roof is blown cellulose. So those two houses, they are really tight. So in the winter, they tend to stay very warm, and in the summer, they'll stay pretty cool. So some of the things that we have at Dancing Rabbit is the co-ops. Different families, they choose to belong to a co-op or not. Here you can find construction, or you can find some infrastructure that it was paid by different households. This is a root cellar, also serves as a storm shelter, and this is shared by 3 different families. So this is in the middle of the yard, so it's easily accessible for everybody who lives around this area. Here we have a couple more houses, Lobelia to the right and Moon Lodge to the left. These 2 houses are built a little bit different. These are straw bale houses. The roof, I'm not sure. I believe it's the one on the right, I believe is blown cellulose, and the left, not really sure. But most of the houses here are built using straw bale and clay, because it's rarely available and easy to find materials. The straw usually comes from a local farm, and the clay is just when we dig the foundations, that's where you find clay everywhere. So this is a good way of reusing the materials that we have here. And here we have the community building, which is for everybody to use. We have a library, computer room, kids play area, a great room with a piano and more books and couches and tables, and that's where we used to do the potluck. So we'll have to wait probably a few more months until we can resume with our social gathering. And this is the Milkweed Mercantile, that was established in 2010. This is a straw bale building, bed and breakfast, with a few rooms for people to rent and spend the weekend here and have a pizza. And this is Main Street with our community building. And this building to the left, the white one, is called a Sky House. Also has several rooms for rent, with the industrial kitchen, small greenhouse. And this is where we keep all our bicycles, lots of them. Yeah. And yes, this is a pedestrian-friendly eco-village. You will not see cars driving along the road, but just people and kids and bicycles. One of the first things I did when I moved to this eco-village is that I sold my car, because I didn't use it much. Since I walked everywhere now and I grow my own food, but if I want to go out to town to buy more groceries, to go to the movie theaters, we have 4 cars that we can all use. We form a co-op, it's called DRVC, and you pay by the mileage, so it's basically renting a car. The good thing about this is I don't have to pay for gas, I don't have to pay for repairs, I don't have to pay for insurance. I just pay for the mileage that I do in the cars. So here we have a pickup truck, which is really useful just to haul, recycling, or if I bring a load of compost, Also, we have a small Jetta, and there's 2 more cars that they're gone right now. So probably people are just doing grocery shopping, which is a Leaf, which is all electric vehicle, and it gets powered by solar panels that we have up there. And then we have a recharge station right there, so we can charge the Leaf every single day. So basically we don't have to pay for gas. And then a Passat, which is gone right now at the moment. And the way it works is we have an online calendar, and then I can write down my name whenever I need a car, and if anyone wants to ride with me, we share the price of the ride. So that makes us think when we want to, to buy groceries. We try to tend to go with other neighbors, just so we have a full car going to places instead of going like I used to do before, going to places every day just to buy a thing here and a thing there. So yeah, this works for me, and it's a beautiful thing. This is our own public market, open 24/7. So the way this thing is run is it's an honor system. You get whatever you need, and then you pay through PayPal or cash. Everything's in bulk. So it's less packaging. So some of the things we have, brown rice, oats, popcorn, quinoa, pinto beans, hazelnuts, M&Ms, cranberry, cashews, also oils, canola, olive, sesame oil, and flour to make pastries. So that's my life in 20 minutes. I'm from here, Dancing Rabbit Ecovillage. Me, Javi, Sugar, and Bessie. Thank you all for watching. See you next time.